7 jurors have been selected in the criminal trial of former President Donald Trump in New York City.
And tomorrow they will resume jury selection. Many people are watching it happen. Our legal analyst Whitney Traylor's here to expand our knowledge of the process, because I think a lot of people think they know what jury selection is like, but the examination of this process in particular has been enlightening, and it's different in different states, but fundamentally similar?
Yeah, I think it's pretty much the same. And here, though, the emphasis will be on some of what's probably usually the mundane part of it. So as you start off, pretty much in any court, they're going to start with a questionnaire, whether you read out your answers or just fill it out, to just see if you know the parties, those kind of things. That's usually pretty mundane, and maybe you get 1 or 2 people. Here, there were probably a whole slew of people that got knocked off just from that by saying what newspapers they read, what news they got, that kind of thing. And in fact, I think they started with, 96 in the room and said, how many of you can be unbiased? And apparently there were 50 people who said, I can't be unbiased. And so they were just dismissed just like that.
So I heard also some people said simply, I can't.
Right.
Like, I can't, this is too much pressure because of this particular case. And I've always heard you can't just say, I don't wanna.
You're right.
But it sounds like in this case, they're letting them walk if they say they can't.
Right, and that's probably different, because one, are they saying I can't be unbiased? And a lot of times if somebody says that, the judge will probe them a little bit and try and encourage them to stay on. Here they were letting them go outright. Other people who are saying, look, I can't do this pressure, the judge is probably also letting those folks go. One, because they have enough people to go through the process, they're ultimately going to get an unbiased jury, which I believe they will. But the other reason is it's going to be an enormous amount of pressure. You're going to have 8 weeks of it. They're expecting it to go at least 8 weeks. So this is a lot of pressure. So if somebody's saying, I can't do it right now, I think the judge is giving them some grace.
And you so often hear people saying, well, I'd try to get out of it if I could. But then you also wonder about how many people want to be on a high-profile jury.
Yeah.
So as an attorney, you're on both sides. You're like, you're really trying to read somebody's mind and their heart.
That's exactly right. And sometimes you'll have a stealth juror who will say, you'll tell that they want to be on the jury really badly. Sometimes people will try and disguise it, because remember, the lawyers get preemptory challenges and challenges for cause. So they have all these people in the box and they're saying, I don't like this person. They do it on the paper so you don't know who it is. So it's not like they're proactively choosing people. They're actually saying, I don't want this person. So a lot of times it can be like, hey, these 2 people are both horrible. In my, for my side of the case, I think this one's worse, so I'll strike them and leave the other person.
Because they only have 10 of those strikes, so the judge really has more say in the broader sense. He can take and eliminate many. But for the 2 sides, they don't have that many swings to take if they don't like a juror.
Well, challenge for cause, you can get as many as you want, but that's going to be very biased type situations. But the preemptory challenges, apparently everybody has 10 per side. So that's exactly right. You're getting to the nuance and you're trying to understand. And honestly, I've taught trial techniques and things. I think the jury selection and the closing argument are the 2 most important parts of the jury.
Gotta believe that.
Yeah, and here
it takes one.
It just takes one. And here I've been reading the comments and the keyboard warriors and all this, and they're saying this is unfair, it's biased. Man, I just say, look, do you believe the system works? Because when they're prosecuting all these, poor people and all these other people all these years, the system works just fine. If you can't do the time, don't do the crime type thing. But now all of a sudden we have this former president with all the money in the world and can't catch a fair trial. It's just, it doesn't ring true.
It always reminds me of every 4 years we talk about the Olympics. Gymnastics and skating. Suddenly people who've never watched those sports are saying, that judge is terrible.
Exactly.
That should have been a 6.
Right.
And now it's the same. We have a lot of legal experts now. You must feel really great.
Yes.
A lot of people are as smart as you now. That's
right.
Great.
Everybody knows. But they'll get their appeal right. I mean, that's the thing. So if something wasn't done right, we have a justice system that allows for a lot of appeals. So at some level, justice will be served.
I have a hunch we'll be talking about it again.
I'm sure.
It's always good to have you in chat with.
Isn't it good to know some of the others went through law school?
Yes, exactly.
Not really.
Thanks, Whitney.
All right.